Have you ever wondered what it truly takes to not just live, but to thrive well into your golden years? Imagine reaching your 80s with vitality, independence, and a joyful spirit. If you're between 70 and 80 years old, or you care for someone in that age range, this video is your key to unlocking a fulfilling and empowered life. Stay with us until the end to discover the 8 essential habits that can transform your later years into the best years of your life. You'll learn how to maintain your health, keep your mind sharp, secure your finances, nurture meaningful relationships, continue learning, embrace enriching hobbies, and cultivate a broad and compassionate heart. Don't miss out on these invaluable insights that can help you or your loved ones live a longer, happier, and more independent life. Let's embark on this journey together to ensure that every day is lived to its full potential. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. Now, let's dive in. First, your body is still in good shape. The ability to take care of your own daily needs, whether it's preparing a simple meal or walking down the street without assistance, is something that should be deeply cherished. We often don't realize how precious our health is until it starts to fade, making moments like these even more valuable. The ability to live independently and care for yourself is not something to be underestimated. It's a blessing, a true privilege. As we age, we come to realize that health is the greatest blessing of all, especially for the elderly. It is the foundation of everything. Without it, all the money and material wealth in the world seem insignificant. Being able to eat a bowl of vegetables or prepare a small meal for yourself is so much more meaningful than relying on someone else to feed you. Sure, having a caregiver can cost tens of thousands of dollars every month, but there's something incredibly empowering and fulfilling about being able to nourish yourself without anyone else's help. It's an act of self-sufficiency that builds dignity and reinforces your sense of self-worth. Good health doesn't just allow for a more comfortable life, it also means you aren't a burden to your loved ones, especially your children. No one wants to feel like they're a burden, and that's something that resonates deeply within all of us. The thought of relying on others, particularly our children, to manage our daily needs is a thought that often weighs heavily on the heart. It's an emotional reality that no one ever wishes to impose on those they love most. Taking care of your body, maintaining your health, and living independently as long as possible can help preserve not just your quality of life, but also the emotional well-being of your family. Imagine the peace of mind that comes with knowing you are doing everything in your power to stay healthy and self-sufficient. It's not just about the physical aspect, it's about preserving your sense of dignity, maintaining your independence, and ensuring that you don't unintentionally cause unnecessary stress to those who care about you. There's a deep emotional satisfaction in knowing that you're not a burden on your children or loved ones. It allows you to live with peace, pride, and a sense of accomplishment, even as you grow older. Ultimately, we all hope for the ability to age gracefully without becoming a source of worry or stress for those we love. Being able to take care of yourself and live life with a sense of ease and independence is truly a blessing. It's a gift that many, unfortunately, don't get to experience, and one that should be cherished with every passing day. Next, your mind is still sharp, and you can see through people's tricks. As we grow older, one of the most incredible gifts we retain is the sharpness of our minds. It's a priceless treasure, something that allows us to see through trickery and manipulation that others may attempt. It's truly empowering to possess the clarity of thought that enables us to discern between what's genuine and what's false. Unfortunately, not everyone is so fortunate. Many elderly individuals, despite their life experience, can become vulnerable to deceit. With age often comes a sense of trust in others, sometimes more than we should, and this can leave us open to exploitation. Too often, I see elderly people who, for one reason or another, become muddled or distracted. In this state, they fall prey to scams. They may be lured into purchasing dubious financial products or unnecessary health supplements, sometimes through aggressive advertising or manipulative phone calls. These sales pitches are designed to tug at their heartstrings, promising security, health, or a better future, when in reality they are nothing more than empty promises crafted solely to empty their bank accounts. It's heartbreaking to witness because these financial hits can be devastating, especially for people who have spent their whole lives saving for their twilight years. If you're still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still with me. What's even more tragic is the emotional and psychological toll that these scams take on the elderly. Many victims don't even realize they've been deceived. Their sense of self-worth and inherent trust in others often leads them to ignore the red flags that they've been tricked. Worse still, they might continue to make decisions that harm their well-being, as well as the financial stability of their families. The shame and embarrassment of admitting that they've been taken advantage of often prevents them from seeking help. They might even hide their losses, compounding the damage and making it even harder for their loved ones to intervene. This can create a vicious cycle of guilt, regret, and confusion, leaving the elderly feeling isolated and defeated. It's heartbreaking to think that after so many years of life, someone might still be vulnerable to such predatory behavior. While cognitive decline can affect us as we age, there's a stark difference between genuine confusion and the act of pretending to be befuddled. At that stage in life, we might feel as though we've earned the right to slow down or let go of some of the mental clutter. Maybe we even pretend to be a little less sharp than we are, but that doesn't mean we've lost the ability to protect ourselves or our loved ones from harm. We may choose to step back from the hustle and bustle of life, but we should never allow anyone to exploit us or strip away the fruits of a lifetime of hard work. I truly believe that as we grow older, we should feel empowered, not victimized. It's essential to remain vigilant, aware, and sharp, even if we decide to slow down and enjoy the peace of our golden years. After all, we've lived through enough to know that trust is earned, not freely given. The wisdom we've accumulated over the years should be our shield against those who seek to exploit us. We must hold on to that strength, no matter how old we get. When it comes to finances, one of the greatest sources of security is knowing that you have enough to live comfortably without relying on anyone else, especially your children, for financial support. There is something incredibly liberating about having the means to cover your own needs. It provides a sense of dignity and self-respect. Being able to care for yourself, regardless of the circumstances, brings an inner peace that is beyond measure. The fear of financial instability, especially as we grow older, is a nightmare that keeps many people up at night. It's a feeling of vulnerability, the realization that your survival might depend on the charity of others. To me, that's the ultimate loss of autonomy, the fear of having no control over your fate. While it's true that elderly parents can always ask their children for help, I wonder how long that can continue before it becomes a burden. The emotional toll on children who are already juggling their own financial struggles is often just as heavy as the financial strain itself. The constant asking can lead to frustration, guilt, and resentment. This is why having a pension and a small savings cushion as you grow older can make all the difference in the world. It brings relief and reassurance, knowing that at least for a time, you won't have to burden your loved ones. It's not just about the money. It's about the peace of mind that comes with it. Those who have managed to save for their future can face their later years with stability, without the anxiety of wondering how to pay for their next meal or bill. They can retain their independence, and most importantly, preserve their dignity. Ultimately, financial security in later years isn't just about surviving. It's about living comfortably, knowing that you have the means to support yourself and face life's challenges with ease. It allows for a peaceful existence free from the fear of dependence, and that's something worth striving for. There is something uniquely powerful about growing old with your original partner by your side. Through all the ups and downs, the joys and heartaches, it's the same person who remains a constant presence in your life. You both have witnessed each other's raw, unpolished moments, and yet, you've chosen to stay. I had the privilege of hearing from a remarkable woman named Lanaya, who is over 70. Despite her age, her energy remains boundless. She shared with me, almost casually but with a hint of pride, how she still rides an electric scooter to take the kids to school, buys groceries, cooks, does laundry, and cares for her spouse. She didn't say it with exhaustion or complaint, but with a profound sense of pride in what she has accomplished. Lanaya's dedication to her family isn't just about chores, it's about love, devotion, and selflessness. In her voice, you can hear a quiet but undeniable strength. She's not asking for sympathy or validation. She's simply reflecting on her life and the sacrifices she's made. While it may seem demanding, there's an undeniable sense of satisfaction in the life she's built. And while some might wonder if it's too much or if she's worn out, Lanaya doesn't need answers. She knows that, despite the exhaustion, the sacrifices are part of something much greater. It's not just the work, it's the life and the love that sustains her. There's something truly extraordinary about having a spouse who has been by your side through all of life's trials, who has witnessed your flaws and still chosen to walk with you every day. In a world where relationships can be fleeting, having that deep, unshakable bond with your original partner is a rare and precious gift. As you continue to age, it's inspiring to see how you stay diligent in learning and exploring the world around you. The passion for knowledge and self-improvement remains a beacon, guiding not only yourself, but also those who surround you. The way you navigate through life, with grace and confidence, speaks volumes about your resilience and adaptability. Your determination to stay curious and engaged, no matter what, is an inspiration to everyone. And if you're still with me, please drop a comment below to let me know you're here and finding these lessons helpful. Reading, we all know, is one of the simplest and yet most powerful ways to advance in life. It's an undeniable truth that books, articles, and even the everyday information we consume can open doors to new perspectives and opportunities. When you read, you progress, not just intellectually, but emotionally, spiritually, and practically. I've seen so many people, especially the elderly, who are overwhelmed by the rapidly changing world around them. Many find themselves lost when they go outside, unable to read signs or understand basic instructions. It's heartbreaking to witness how so many of our older generations struggle simply because they didn't have the opportunity to learn how to adapt to these new technologies. The inability to use a phone to check directions or make payments often leaves them feeling helpless, isolated, and disconnected from the world they once knew so well. And yet, it doesn't have to be that way. I strongly believe that it's never too late to start learning. It's not about mastering advanced subjects like astronomy or geography. It's about equipping ourselves with the tools and knowledge that allow us to thrive in our everyday lives. For the elderly, learning how to use a phone, how to navigate public transport, or how to make simple online transactions could open up a world of possibilities. These small yet significant skills can give them a sense of independence, agency, and connection to the world around them. We often forget how empowering it is to be able to take control of our own lives, even in the most basic of ways. I also feel so strongly that we need to change the way we view technology. It shouldn't be something we use just for idle gossip or entertainment, as many do. Instead, it should be a powerful tool for learning, growth, and staying engaged with the world. There's so much to explore: new social methods, travel tips, career advice, and even health information that could greatly benefit our lives. Imagine the endless possibilities if we began using technology not just for fleeting distractions, but to enrich our minds, enhance our lives, and deepen our understanding of the world. Technology isn't the enemy, it's a companion in this ever-evolving journey. And I think that with a little curiosity and a lot of patience, anyone, young or old, can learn to embrace it fully, just as you have. You are a living testament to the idea that learning is a lifelong journey. Never stop. Keep growing, keep exploring, and never lose that spark of curiosity. The world is always changing, and so long as you're willing to adapt and learn, there's no limit to where you can go. At the age of 70, life is far from over. It is a time to embrace the beauty of living with grace, freedom, and the joy that comes from simple pleasures. Hobbies, when chosen thoughtfully, can be an incredible source of happiness and fulfillment. Yes, physical strength may wane with time, and engaging in vigorous exercise might no longer be practical, but that doesn't mean life becomes any less meaningful. While some elderly people might find it hard to imagine dancing in the park or participating in group activities, it's important to remember that there's no one-size-fits-all when it comes to how we enjoy our days. Each person is different, and that's what makes life so wonderfully diverse. As we age, we face the reality that not everything from our younger years is feasible anymore. For instance, some elderly individuals may struggle with prolonged sitting, making a game of mahjong or lengthy card games less enjoyable. But this doesn't mean their lives are any less worthy of joy or enrichment. Quite the opposite. Older adults must have hobbies that nurture their hearts and minds, things that make them feel engaged and alive without forcing them to push beyond their limits. Finding hobbies that resonate with them, that bring comfort, creativity, or peace, is one of the most important aspects of enjoying these years. It's essential to note that hobbies don't have to be grand or demanding. It's not about keeping up with the latest trends or forcing oneself into activities that simply don't bring joy. Whether it's playing a quiet game of chess, exploring the world of painting, singing along to favorite tunes, or simply sitting by a serene lake and fishing, hobbies are all about personal fulfillment. It's about doing what feels right in the moment, what brings a smile to the face and peace to the soul. I believe that at this stage in life, there should be no pressure to conform to others' expectations of what active or engaged means. There is no need to force oneself to enjoy something just because it's popular or deemed appropriate by others. Instead, we should focus on what truly sparks joy in the heart. Something as simple as knitting a scarf, watching the birds in the garden, reading a novel that transports you to another world, or even taking a short walk with a loved one. These small acts of personal enjoyment can be far more fulfilling than a high-energy workout or a crowded social gathering. In fact, these hobbies provide much more than just a way to pass the time. They are a way to continue connecting with oneself and the world around. They keep the mind sharp, the heart warm, and the spirit engaged. After all, what truly matters is not how physically demanding the hobby is, but how it allows the individual to feel a sense of purpose, discover new facets of themselves, and keep exploring what life still has to offer. When we allow ourselves to embrace the idea that hobbies can be as varied and personal as we are, we open the door to a world of possibilities, and that, I think, is what makes life truly worth living. Finding joy in the simplest things, even when the world around us is changing in ways we can't control. So whether it's learning to paint for the first time, dedicating afternoons to writing memoirs, or simply tending to a small garden, the right hobby can fill the soul with a kind of peaceful satisfaction that is irreplaceable. The beauty of life at 70 lies not in keeping up with youthful standards, but in embracing your rhythm, your desires, and choosing activities that nurture and fulfill you. Life, after all, is not about the things we can no longer do, but the things we can still enjoy to the fullest. At the age of 80, your heart is still untainted, wide open, and full of wonder. There's a magical, almost untouched innocence that comes with being so young at heart, a purity that allows you to experience life in its simplest, most beautiful form. You're not weighed down by the worries or expectations that come later in life. Your spirit is unburdened by the pressures of comparison, competition, or the need to measure yourself against others. At this tender age, you don't yet feel the sting of envy or self-doubt. You don't look at the world and wish to be someone else because you are completely content with who you are. You see the goodness in people, accepting them for their flaws and imperfections without judgment. This is a rare gift, one that fades as you grow older, and the complexities of life begin to cloud your vision. But at 80, you have learned not to compare yourself to others, not to feel the weight of expectations, and to remain joyful in who you are. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. As people age, it's often said that they become more temperamental, that their perspectives narrow and their minds become smaller. They can become quick to anger, less patient with the world, and perhaps even more rigid in their ways. There is a heartbreaking truth in this because as the years pass, it can feel as though life hardens you, like a shell that grows thicker with each passing moment. People become less tolerant, more stubborn, and more set in their views. You see it all around you. Older individuals, once vibrant with joy, now often find themselves irritated by the smallest things. They may not be as open to change, to new ideas, or to understanding the feelings of others. Sometimes they even lose the ability to forgive, holding on to past hurts as if those are the only things left in a world that seems increasingly difficult to navigate. However, the most astonishing and rare thing to witness is when an elderly person defies these patterns. They remain open-minded, and their hearts still embrace the imperfections of others with a warmth that hasn't been dulled by time. It's a true rarity to see someone who is no longer consumed by resentment or envy, someone who doesn't belittle their children or those around them. When an older person continues to accept people as they are, without judgment or bitterness, it's nothing short of miraculous. There is something deeply inspiring about such a soul, one that has learned to let go of the ego, the need for comparison, and the harshness that so often accompanies the aging process. To remain kind, to not envy others' successes, and to still see beauty in imperfections is a level of grace that most of us can only hope to achieve. This speaks to a life well lived, one filled with wisdom and love. When you witness such an open, accepting heart in someone who has lived many years, it fills you with awe and admiration. It reminds you of the joy and innocence we all had as children, and how precious it is to preserve that part of yourself throughout your life. It serves as a reminder that no matter how many years pass, we can still choose to stay soft, to be generous in our love, and to never lose the ability to appreciate the world and the people in it, just as they are. As we wrap up, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned today. Life, especially as we grow older, often teaches us to be more mindful, more accepting, and more understanding. We've discussed how the heart, even as we age, can remain as open as it was in childhood, free from the heavy burdens of comparison and judgment. It's rare and beautiful to find someone who continues to accept others' imperfections without envy or bitterness. Someone who knows how to cherish what they have without constantly measuring themselves against others. So, what have you learned from today's discussion? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Comment below with one key takeaway that resonated with you, and let us know how you plan to bring it into your own life. How will you stay open-minded, accepting, and free from the pressures of comparison as you continue on your own journey? If you enjoyed this video and found value in it, please leave your comment below and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel so you never miss an inspiring message. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.